Hello. I am Ala. I'm studying in the Hall in Utrecht, and I have a project about the culture in the UK, and I have to interview you about this project.
Okay.
Yeah. For first, can you introduce yourself? Who you are?
Yeah. I'm Eve Hopkins, 46 years old. I moved to the Netherlands when I was 4, so I came here with my parents. We lived in Manchester, and my parents my father comes from Irish immigrants, and my mother is British. 24 years ago they moved back to the UK, where they live now, with my younger sister, and my middle sister lives in South Africa. I live here with my son, Samuel, and I'm a director of the Theater aan de Rijn theatre, just around here. Director, yeah. So that's me.
You. Wow. I don't know everything about you.
And I know nothing about you, so no, I know a little about you now.
Okay. Can you tell me about your current profession?
Yeah, sorry. I'm a director of a theatre, Theater aan de Rijn in Arnhem, and I've been doing that for the last 8 years. Yeah.
And is that your study?
I studied drama. Yeah, I studied drama at the University of Amsterdam and at the Trinity College in Dublin, and I worked in Rotterdam before I came here, and this has been for the last 8 years.
Okay. Yeah. And is your work regarded as a typical female profession or not?
Sorry, as a what?
Your work regarded as a typical female profession or not?
Okay. That's a very interesting question.
Yes.
It's a very interesting question. Because it really... Hey, hallo, hi. Tot maandag.
Ja, gezellig.
Ja. Oké, ciao ciao. No, I think traditionally it wasn't. I think traditionally all the directors of theatre were all male. And if we go back to Shakespearean, if we go back to Shakespearean times, am I loud enough? If we go back to Shakespearean time, then the directors and the actors and everything was male. And I think any leading positions nowadays are very much male orientated. However, I do have hope, and I do think the times are changing. I'm one of the few female directors, but I'm not the only one.
Yeah, that's what I know. There's not a lot of women who work in the director.
Yeah.
So I asked you.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think that there is a difference between male and female in workplace in the UK? Not here in the Netherlands, in the UK.
Well, the interesting thing was I was talking to a friend of mine, John, who lives in the UK with his wife, Rachel. And John is a bit of a house father. He just has a bit of work, but not a lot, and he looks after their kids. They've got 2 kids. And Rachel is one of the top headhunters of the UK. And she does all the human resources. And he was telling me that in the UK, 9 out of 10 people that she headhunts for human resources are female.
Oh, really?
Human resources
Now?
is taken over completely by females.
Wow.
Yeah. So as a man, you have a bit of a setback, but I think it's nothing to worry about. So. On the other hand, my sister, who lives in England, in Lancaster, near Manchester, she's a police officer, and in the police, it's a very male-orientated, very masculine, it's very hard
Just for the men.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it really depends on which type of work you're doing and what kind of work field. It's yeah. So Yeah, there are differences.
Okay. So in the past, it was the same thing or not? In the past.
No, I think in the past everything was male oriented. However, the difference between the UK and the Netherlands is such that the UK, it's much more normal for women to work in the UK.
Yes.
My mother worked, my grandmother worked, my great grandmother worked. They all had, I mean professionally. They were teachers, you know, they had professional jobs and training. And I think the difference between the UK and the Netherlands is also that the UK was involved in the First World War.
Yes. Right.
So all the men went out and the work had to be done. So the women took over. So that was kind of an emancipation that went on. There was a very strong suffragette movement, women's rights movement. They were very successful. So that happened. And that didn't happen in the Netherlands. It's much more of a mother stay-at-home culture in the Netherlands. But your interest is more in the UK. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. How does age affect work chances for women in the UK?
How does it affect?
The age.
Oh, age. Oh, age. Yeah, that's an interesting question. How does age affect? Yeah, it's hard to say, you know. I think
it depends on the work you do.
It depends very much on the work you do, and unfortunately, there are still quite a few women in the UK doing the same jobs as men, being paid less.
Oh,
so that's still going on.
until now?
Yeah. Oh, and there's a movement going on to change that. But as you know, change doesn't happen rapidly, it happens slowly. And you have to keep working on it.
Yes.
I think what's also important in the UK is that part-time work is not very, it's not a regular thing. No, it's not popular, it's not regular, so if you work full-time. And schools are very much accommodating to that. So kids get, they get school dinners, they have extracurricular activities after school. So it's quite easy to work full-time because it's all well organised. And I hope, with this Conservative government that they'll keep holding on to that.
In which sector work women more than men?
Well, human resources, as I just said, yeah.
But in some region maybe?
Yeah. In what kind of work fields, right?
Yes.
Fields work. Human resources, I think more and more GPs are turning out to be women. Lawyers, solicitors, interestingly enough, estate agents are very often women. And I think what we're moving into the 21st century is all about more the soft skills.
Yes.
You could say more feminine skills, but it doesn't mean that men can't have. Men can have feminine skills, but it's more about communication, being able to communicate. All these, being a GP or solicitor or human resource, you have to communicate.
To communicate, yes.
And I think the world is changing. It's a much more diverse world we're living in now than 40 years ago. There are people from different cultural backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, religious backgrounds, different genders.
Do women contribute to politics and religion, or are they limited to men?
No. Theresa May is a good example of, well, not sure she contributes to politics, but and there's two things that are important in England. One is our second female prime minister after Thatcher, and not a lot of countries can boast that.
No.
And what you should also realise is that the Queen of England is also head of the Church of England. So she's the boss. Of England, well, the UK, and of the Church of England, so the religion. And in the Church of England, which is sort of the main religion in England, in the UK, sorry, there are female preachers, And so I think the role of women is quite strong in quite strong in politics and in religion. Yeah.
Okay, but I read that the really, where was it? That in 1918, right to vote extended to women.
Yeah.
So before that,
They had no rights. They couldn't vote. No. However, they did work.
yes.
My great grandmother was working before 1918, so they did work, but they couldn't vote. And I'm not sure if they could own land or estate, or I'm not sure. Probably not.
Okay.
And of course, Virginia Woolf wrote a Room of One's Own, which was very much an essay focused on women's rights and the right to, earn your own salary, have your own house.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you think now women and men have the same right or not?
On paper, yes.
Oh.
In practice,
No.
no, we're not there. No,
Not
no,
yet?
No. I think on paper, yes, but I think there's still unequal pay for men and women for the same jobs. I think there's still a lot of sexism going on. Oh, she's a woman. And there are certain fields of work where women, for example, the police, where it's such a masculine, old-fashioned kind of field of work. So, I think we're not there yet.
Do you know woman of a specific union? Did you hear about it?
Union?
Yeah.
Oh no, hang on, I do. Somebody, an actress that I know, a friend of mine, she's a member of the Actors Union.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, thank you. That is it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. Yeah. I hope it works out for you. And,
Yes, thank you.
I hope the interview was valuable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when are you going to graduate?
Oh, I'm still in the first year.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have
3 more years then.